Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by for today's video and welcome to today's makeup medley. This is going to be this random mishmash video where I share with you some things that are new to me. So today we have everything from some skincare to try out. I'm going to give you some fragrance reviews / updates, and we have a new eyeshadow palette to try out today, baby. We have the new Nomad Cosmetics Keys, Beachy, and Peachy palette. I'm really excited that Nomad sent this over to me. I will be honest, this is a lot of color. This is a lot of color, and recently I've been just doing kind of the least. So we're gonna see what kind of colorful, easy, probably sunshiny. I'm really feeling these yellows. So we're gonna dip into this today. I'm gonna do some swatches for you. This is not gonna be like a full review on this palette, but we are gonna dip our toes into this one, so to speak. What else do we have here? Like I said, it's gonna be a mishmash, so I hope you're down for that. I will have some sort of like chapters set up, hopefully. I really just wanted to sit down, play with some things, give you my thoughts on a few things that I've been trying, and get a face so that I can do a couple more videos. I'm gonna be honest. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly, and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, I'm naked-faced. I mostly did that so that we could start out with some sunscreen. I went ahead and purchased the Vanna box of the sunscreen. So this, of course, is from Stylevanna, and it is, these might be all new to me sunscreens. Let's see. So again, I did purchase this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, 7 new to me sunscreens. Now there is one brand in here that I actually really enjoy, but I have not tried this sunscreen. Okay, so let's dig into this and then we will figure out what we want to try. I did, when I placed this order, it was like, I don't know, I think that the sunscreen box was like 35 or 40% off, and I think you got free shipping or something like that. So I did go ahead and pick up a couple other items, so I do just want to give you a little heads up on the ones that I bought. I've talked about both of these on my channel here before. This is the Make Prem Low Irritant and Mild Acid Foam. I love this cleanser. You know, sometimes if you are even, you know, not necessarily a content creator, but just a beauty enthusiast, and you have quite a few different products that you have been trying out, it's good sometimes to just go back to something that you know and love. And I love this cleanser. I was looking through my cleanser stash. I'm about to finish up the cleanser that is in my bathroom at my sink right now, and I was like, I kind of just want to go back to something that I know and love that really helps get makeup off, but in a gentle way. So I thought that this would probably be the next one that I open up. It's gonna kind of bump some of the ones that are in my stash right now, but every once in a while you got to do that. I also wanted to take advantage of picking up this moisturizer. This is the Yule, I'm probably butchering that, Calming Moisture Barrier Cream. I don't know, there's something about this that is similar to me to the Kiehl's face cream. This just, I don't know, maybe it's like a little bit more lightweight. Maybe it's that I like the fragrance a little bit. I don't know what it is, but I thought it was at a pretty good price, and then I was surprised because it actually was 2 of them. It was 2 of them. So I will be good on this for a while, but you know, while I was ordering, I just figured I'd take advantage. Okay, so that's what I picked up. By the way, I'll have those things linked down below. I do think I have a discount code with Stylevanna, so I'll make sure to have that as well. So let's dig into what we have here. Now, this is a product from Make Prem. Like I said, that there was a brand in here that I know and like. This is the Light and Refreshing Sun Essence with Full Moisture. So this is SPF 50+. We also have the By Some By Me, which I have actually tried some things from this brand that I like, the Air Fit Sunscreen. It has niacinamide and a hyaluronic acid complex. So this is also a 50 SPF. We have a sun stick. Ooh, maybe I'll give this to the guys to try. Maybe I'll try it once and then give it to the guys just, you know, when they're outside working. This is the Cotton Soft Sun Stick in, again, SPF 50+ from Tokobo. Oh my gosh, so many things. Ooh, Isntree Onion Fresh Fluid Sunscreen. Sunscreen? There's gonna be no screaming, hopefully. So this is, again, I mean, we've got so many here to try. We have the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Air Fit Daily Sunscreen, non-greasy, velvety finish. I probably should have put something out on my Instagram and polled to see which one of these I should try. So this is a peptide bakuchiol sunscreen It's got 1% bakuchiol. And then we have this compact sunscreen. This is from VT Cosmetics. It's the Essence Sun Packed. So I actually want to open this up because I am not sure if this is a powder sunscreen or if this is just almost more like a, yep, can't remember what they call them, a like cushion sunscreen. So let's go ahead and see here. We're gonna open this up. Oh, okay, it's like a balm. Huh. So you've got this nice little balm in here, very, very lightweight. I think this would be really good for touch-ups. It doesn't have any fragrance. You know what? I am gonna try this to touch up over makeup. I think I'm gonna give that a go. It has the little sponge, so I feel like just for like a little touch-up, that could be good to try. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one out to try. Toss that in my bag. I don't know, there's something about this Haru Haru. I think this is gonna be the one that I wanna try. By the way, if you've tried any of these, please chime in down below. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so I totally missed that there is this little card in the Vanna box, and it does give a bit of a description on all of them. I'm just gonna go over that little compact and the one I picked out to try today. So the VT Cosmetics Compact says that it's a hybrid sunscreen that combines mineral and chemical benefits, and it gives a dewy and glowing finish for dry skin. I'll probably still try it out, but that sounds like something I'd prefer more in the winter time. Maybe not, but we'll see. So the Haru Haru Wonder has an antioxidant-rich black rice oil infusion, soothing and moisturizing ceramides, wrinkle-improving adenosine, and brightening niacinamide. So this is a chemical sunscreen, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. Yeah, I think we're gonna try these. We have 2 sun sticks in here. That Mary and May is also, oh, that bakuchiol sun stick. Okay, so I'm probably gonna give those a go, but I might give them to the guys to use in their kit for like when they're outside doing landscaping, lawn mowing, those things. It's just nice to have something that they can like rub on, even if their hands are a bit dirty. So, all right, I mean, rub on with the stick, not rub on with their dirty hands. Wow, have you clicked off yet? Okay, so let's go ahead and give this one a go. I definitely, in the summertime, I know a lot of people love like a mega glow, but I just feel like my skin, while it's pretty normal and dry, quite dry in the wintertime, it does get a little juicy in the, okay, I mean, it's not bad. It reminds me of, and it doesn't anymore, but it reminded me for just a second, there was like this popcorn salt, something. There was this like seasoned salt. I got a whiff and I was like, whoa, it smells like that salty thing. I don't know what it was, but now it smells fine. I mean, it smells like nothing. This is a pretty thick product though. Like I can definitely feel it. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna absorb, but if you want something that's like a more liquidy feel, I don't know that this is gonna be for you. This definitely has like a thicker vibe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for a couple minutes. I think today I'm just gonna go very simple as far as skin goes, so I'm probably just gonna throw on some of my Complexion Rescue. This is definitely getting down there. Right now I'm using up this ginger shade, so I want to use that up for sure, and I'll probably just go through with some Haus Labs concealer. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do that real quick, and then I will come back right away because we are gonna try out the RMS Redimension Hydra Setting Powder together. I've had this for about a week. I've tried it in a ton of different ways, and I have thoughts for you. So hang on just a sec. Okay, I know that I said I was gonna come back when I had my concealer all done, but I just wanted to comment. I feel like I am going to wait until fall to use that sunscreen again. We'll see how this goes today, but I am just feeling a little extra moist. If you have dry skin, I think it's actually going to be a really, really nice one, but I just feel a little extra dewy. And not like, I don't want to say tacky, but it definitely feels balmy on the skin a little bit. So for me, that's going to be a beautiful texture when my skin is dry and a little bit irritated. Just lost a lash. Oh, that's always so sad, isn't it? So I think I'll hold off. So I just wanted to say that. I think the formula is nice, but it's just going to be too much for my skin for this time of year. I mean, here in Wisconsin, we do get fairly humid, especially this year. I tell you what, it's already been so bad, which means also the mosquitoes have also been so bad. I don't like it. Okay, I also figured that if I came back to you right after blending in my concealer, we could talk about the Hydra Setting Powder. So this is brand new from RMS. They do have it in 3 shades. I was trying to decide between the light and the medium. I did go with the medium shade. I think for summer, you know, it's nice to have something with a bit more tint to it. I could probably have done either, but this is actually working for me. So there we go. Okay, so you can see that this has one of those little flip tops, and then it has the RMS little logo there, and that is where the product is dispersed from. I don't know how I feel about that. That does let out quite a bit of product. I'm still trying to decide how I'd like to do it. Like, do I want to like tap it out? I mean, if you do it this way, it actually doesn't let out too much. But what I found is that by swirling my brush in, sometimes the bristles kind of dig in and pick up more than I would usually use. So I think for today, I'm going to go through with this brush from Wayne Goss. This is what I've been using recently. Now, I will say that for me, I'm going to do it today just so you can see, because I think a lot of times, you know, with setting powders, we want to know what it looks like under the eye. Spoiler alert, this works just fine. But for a tinted powder, I don't usually like to do it under the eye, especially like today when I have an emollient product, just in case it's going to oxidize a bit and get, you know, that bit of darkness. I like to keep my under eye pretty bright. Not like 2010 under eye bright, but like just enough that it's just really flattering. So I'm just gonna do half here. I did go back in and picked up a bit more powder with this brush. You can see it's not too dark, but it also isn't making my tinted moisturizer look lighter. And it does cut down the shine a little bit, but it still looks, let me zoom you in now. It does cut down on the shine, but still leaves a beautiful skin finish. So you can see here, I'm a little extra glowy, and this side is just nice and, you know, I don't even want to go as far as to say mattified, but more like silkified. We're gonna go with that. This is so pretty. For those of you that know, my ride or die is this one right here, which is so close to being out. There's a little bit in here, but I'm having one heck of a time getting it out. It's the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. Now this is really truly a, I would say, color-free translucent setting powder. I think that these have a pretty similar outcome. Now, of course, with the RMS, you're gonna get a little bit of tint. And I think the Hourglass Veil does come in a shade that has a bit of tint to it for darker skin tones. That I can't really speak on, but I do like the original for myself. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to see if I can get a little bit, oh, you guys, I mean, seriously, whew, okay. So I got a little bit out. So I'm gonna take a little bit of each and put it in the cap so you can see. So this is the Veil Translucent, and this is the RMS. Oh, maybe you're not going to be able to see that. So it is a bit darker. Obviously, we've got a white cap and a black cap, so keep that in mind. So obviously, this is a bit deeper than the translucent. I will say that I do appreciate that this tone, to me, does sit pretty darn neutral. It's not into peachy, and it's also not into too golden. You know, even on my olive skin tone, golden can sort of come off as it starts to get like too orangey. So I feel like this is a beautiful tone. As far as texture, I'm gonna take the Veil on this side and the RMS on this side. They're pretty close. I'll be honest, the Hourglass is just ever so slightly more finely milled, but not by much. Not by much. So I'm definitely going to enjoy using this one. I will say I felt like it wears great throughout the day, and I don't feel like my under eyes get extra creasy. You know, the campaign for this has been like, essentially like, have your cake and eat it too. Like, have your cake, but your face won't be cakey kind of thing. And I have to say they pretty much nailed it. I don't really have anything negative to say about this. The only thing for me is I absolutely love the dispersion system in here. There's just something about this that I find is just perfect. Also, I don't know, I just like that I don't have to flip a top, you know, like if they could have just made the cap so that it sits in flush and you don't have to worry about this spilling out. There's just something about flipping a cap that I don't love. So I don't know, that's just me. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts on this so far. I think it's great. If you have been looking for a new powder to try, this is talc free. I do want to mention that, and it does come in the 3 sheer shades. So there is tint to it, but it's definitely sheer. So it's not something that's going to be like a true colored face powder, like, you know, a compact powder. This is definitely much lighter and more sheer. They say it has 0 flashback. I haven't noticed any flashback in pictures. And it has herbal hydrate complex, which is water soluble and plant derived. So it's just supposed to impart moisturizing benefits, which is great if you do have dry skin. Now, this also is said to have the gel to powder technology, which I believe is also what's in the Redimension Hydra blushes. So if you love that, you will probably like this. So they say that the Hydra Setting Powder is a second skin that blurs, sets, and nourishes all day. I've really been enjoying it. So just wanted to give that little nod. Now what I'm gonna do, because I'm not really sure where this eye look is gonna go, I have a pretty good idea, but I think I'm gonna hold off on doing my blush and bronzer until the very end, just so we can have everything be balanced out. I just wanna like pop you out a little bit here. Over the weekend, I had to do some filming for Paul Mitchell, so I had pulled my camera in front of my vanity to be able to like do some hair stuff. And every time I do that, I have to like move everything around, reset up the camera, reset up everything, and it always just ends up a little bit different. So I hope everything is okay with the filming today. Now, let's go ahead and do some eyeshadow. Again, like I said, I don't really plan on going too crazy with my eye look, but I'm really excited to try this out. We do have some beautiful shades in here. I will say that my blue shade here, Come As You Are, it was semi-broken when I opened it. Some of the product had come up out of the pan. It was pretty squishy, so I was able to pop it back in. But in case you haven't seen this palette yet, look how fun this is. I mean, obviously this is celebrating the Florida Keys, and I think this color story is very fitting. Let's go ahead and do a little swatcheroo of a few of these. I'm gonna grab a few of the mattes, and then we'll go ahead and do a few of the shimmers. So even though we're not gonna do anything too colorful today, let me tell you, I am actually very excited to try out these 2 colors right here. So let's go ahead and swatch those. We've got Sunset Celebration and Oversea Highway. And I'm going to do that bright yellow because I'm really intrigued to try that one today. Oh, this is so funny. We've sort of got like, not really the primaries, but kind of the primary shades. So now swatches don't really necessarily tell the truth when it comes to shades like these. And I find that colors like this are usually pretty buildable. Let's go ahead and do one more of these. I like this Peachy Shipwreck Trail down here. Oh yeah, this is fun. I mean, it is definitely, I don't know if you can see that it's kind of, oh, yep, you can probably see it right there. So really fun. Now let's go ahead and grab some of these mattes. I'm just gonna quickly rub this off because I do wanna do this on my dry hand, so I don't wanna get too much moisture from a makeup wipe. All right, let's go through. I am gonna take that Come As You Are shade because I did think that that looked really pretty. All right, so I'm also gonna grab the yellow, and let's grab this Key Largo. Oh, you know I love a good shimmering peach shade. Okay, I'm grabbing the darker kind of like tropical punch shade as well. Now I always say that, maybe you'll be able to see it, I enjoy the Nomad shimmers because they really have an interesting texture. Most of them have this shimmer with a fine colored fleck running through it, and I do see that in a couple of these shades. However, in the Come As You Are shade, I feel like it's not as shimmery. It's almost a little bit more satiny of a shimmer. Now that could just be in the swatch on my hand, but I feel like it's a fairly thin shimmer, which some people really love, but I feel like it's a little bit more translucent. Like if I really blend this out, I feel like it gets a little bit more satiny. So I would be curious to see what that's gonna look like on the skin. That's not what I'm gonna do today. It very clearly does not match, and it's just not the vibe. So I think we are just gonna go in and do something pretty simple. So I'm kind of tempted to just do a really bright yellow inner corner and then just keep the rest of it pretty soft. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. We'll just go through, maybe I'll start out with this Shipwreck Trail and then pop this yellow over the top. We'll have to see. This is gonna be pretty basic and fairly blown out, so I'll probably just speed through this for you, but I'll definitely give you my thoughts once I've applied. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom you in here. I did just throw on some mascara. I'm just trying to use up this Bare Minerals Lashtopia before it's bad. I do like it, I do like it. Usually this is my naughty set of lashes and this side does well, but I feel like today it's the opposite. Anyway, we're talking about the eyeshadow. So, now granted, I only used one shimmer. I do have 3 mattes on, so obviously I used the Conch Republic, and then this shade here, which I'm trying to read upside down and in the mirror, is Shipwreck Trail. And then I did use Far From Normal in my inner corner. I did decide that that was just a little bit, you know, you can see here it almost has a dab of chartreuse to it, and I wanted something that was a little bit more yellow, so I did pop this butter yellow over the top, Sunrise Salute, and that's also the shade that I have on my lash line just for like a little bit of balance. The mattes worked really well. Here's the thing, and you know, when I swatched those first set of shimmers, I was like, I don't know. This doesn't have as much dimension as I'm used to from the Nomad shimmers. It also was very, yeah, I can still see some like patchiness here, like right here. I didn't want to like have to layer this up really thick, but it's so thin that you see skin through it if you don't put more color on. And it was very hard to get to be smooth looking. Like, not smooth as in it looks textured, but just like an even amount. Now, this is the first time using it. I'm using a natural haired brush. Who knows, maybe a synthetic would work better. It could be so many things. It could be so many things, right? But I definitely am going to have to come back with my thoughts on this palette and these shimmers. So let me know if you want to see me do more looks with this or if you want an update in the future. I will give this a go more. I'll probably try to do like lean hard into some of the aquas and blues, post a look on Instagram one day where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for some color today. This is a bright, nice look. I just wish that for an easy, quick yellow, it just wasn't so fussy. So, first thoughts. Now, I know that there are a lot of creators who have put out videos with tons of looks with this one. It just wasn't working with my timeline and my life right now. But of course you can use my code KeepBeautyReal to save if you are going to be planning on shopping on the site. It's not affiliated in any way. I don't get any money. I'm just letting you know. Use somebody's code so that you get a discount. I'll just have to give you more thoughts on this one in the future. And thanks to the brand for sending it over. Again, like I said, follow on Instagram if you want to see more looks, or let me know down below. Are there shades in here that you want to see me use? Like if you're like, ooh, please use the purple, or you know, you want to see some of the greens, the blues, let me know. All right, this one though, I gotta do a look, a warm toasty look with that shade. That one's gonna be coming for sure. All right, so now that we have an eye look, I feel like now we can go ahead and go through and add a bit of blush. I think since we've already used an RMS powder, let's go ahead and add in a RMS blush. So I pulled out both Bohemian Girl and Mai Tai, except this is Mai Tai, this is Bohemian Girl. So we could go a little bit more into the corally peachy or more into like that pinky peachy. I kind of want to do this one, but I sort of want to go more pinky, like just to kind of have a little bit of color variance. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it'll also go with the lipstick that I'm probably going to pop on, which is, surprise, also an RMS RMS is not sponsoring this video in any way, by the way. You just know that I absolutely love the blushes, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna pull one out today. I don't wanna go too crazy with this, so I'm just gonna take a duo fiber brush. This is the Luxie 516. And I'm actually gonna put this on first, because then I can decide if I wanna add some bronzer. I know usually, like in the summertime, I lean into the corals, the oranges, but I've still just been enjoying a pink cheek. I think as I get more tan and, you know, we get into the depth of summer, it's still, you know, we're just towards like the middle of June right now. I feel like maybe that will happen. But honestly, I just haven't been getting that much time outside. We did go kayaking over the weekend, got a little bit of sun, but I'm just like, I'm still living this pink life over here. So to me, this just gives like a little bit of, I just came in from the sun. You know, like it just gives you that little bit of like, ooh, maybe I wasn't wearing enough sunscreen, but I was. But I look like I just got a little bit of pink on the cheeks. So I do really like that. I could have grabbed my RMS bronzer, but I think for today, I just want to pop on my Hourglass. This is the Diffused Bronze Light. So let's just pop this on. I think it's just going to be super sheer. There's just something about this brush that I don't want to use any other brush for bronzing, at least not with powders. If I weren't doing some other filming for Paul Mitchell today, I probably would just skip the bronzer altogether, but with being on film, if you will, I like to have just a little bit more sculpting to my face, but other than that, I probably wouldn't have even bothered. Now, the only thing is I'm gonna break my rules. I'm gonna break my rules because I wanna talk to you about the new All-Nighter Setting Spray. So they sent this over. This is the Hyaluronic Acid and Watermelon Fruit Extract Spray. So I saw this, I think I talked about it in my new makeup releases video, and I was very curious about it, but I was like, I don't know if I need like that juicy hydration in the summertime. I feel like I want it more in the winter, and I'm worried this would make me too glowy. I'll just let you know right now, it does not. It's absolutely very beautiful. Now, I was disappointed about one thing when I tried this the first time. I'll let you know in just a sec. Okay, so the scent here, it is watermelon inspired, but it to me smells more almost like watermelon sparkling water. You know, it's not like watermelon gum, overly watermelon. It just has that little bit of that vibe. And you can see here, while it did set down the makeup, not that I had like a powdery finish, it would definitely help alleviate that. And it gives a nice glow, but it doesn't, it's not like overly sheeny, shiny. I don't want glossy skin in the summertime. It's just gonna slide right off my face. Okay, so the one thing that I didn't really love about this is my sprayer on this sucked. It like, I don't even know what the heck happened. It would go up and it would go down, but not out. Like it was sort of like, it went like this, but where my face is, it just wouldn't get. So it would be like hair and chest, please feel hyaluronic acided and set, but the face, it just would not hit. So what I did, I think I was talking about how I was almost out of this one. I actually just transferred this pump onto this one. I'm sure it was just a fluke. They are the same exact pump. So if you know that you like the original all-nighter pump, it's probably gonna be just the same. I will say that this, like right now where I got a little bit on my arm, it feels a little bit tacky, but not so much in the face. It does have a bit of a tack to it, and I don't mean like super sticky, for maybe 15 minutes. I found that that goes away throughout the day. Later, I mean, and it's not so much that like my hair is gonna stick to it or anything. I just felt it for a moment. I don't ever feel like I get that out of this one, but I did from this for just a few minutes. So just something to keep in mind. If this is something that you want to try, something that's got a little bit more hydration to it, or you're just a huge watermelon fan, I would give this a go. I feel like it sets the makeup and lasts just as long as the original all-nighter does. So maybe you don't love the scent of this one, but you like the performance. Give this one a go. I definitely like it, and thanks to the brand for sending that over. All right, we're gonna finish up the look with a lip color, and this, literally, I just found it on the floor over here in a pile of things that I purchased, and I completely forgot about it. I bought this, I am pretty sure I bought it when I bought my powder, but perhaps not. I honestly don't remember. It could have been when I bought the bronzer. Oh my gosh, who knows? But this is the Wild with Desire lipstick in the shade Pretty Vacant. Now, I think a lot of us got the sample of the little red guy. I have not tried this one out yet. It's in my Shop My Stash, but I'm thinking with this look, I just want something kind of light and fresh. So this is going to be the one that we go with. Now I feel like this is going to be a satiny, semi-sheer creamy lipstick, and I'm really excited for that. This shade seems very pretty. It was on like super mega sale during the anniversary sale. Maybe that's, I bet I did get this when I got the bronzer. Wow. At any rate, we're going to try it out. So I'm just hoping that it's not too white-based. Okay, it's not crazy white-based, but it is white-based enough that I don't think that I would wear this to full opacity. I am going to sheer it out just a little bit. Now, if you are not new to my channel, you will probably know that I absolutely love the Legendary lipstick formula from RMS. That is their newer formula. It's, I would say, a very like semi-staining, beautiful, I'm gonna say a little bit more, I don't even want to say more matte than this because I feel like this, maybe it's just the shade, but I feel like it's drying down to be skin finish. I keep saying that because to me it's not like dry matte, but it's also not really creamy. I will also say, honestly, now my lips are a little dry right now because, kicking myself, I forgot my lip balm when we went on our kayaking adventure over the weekend. So they are a little bit dry, but I did put a lip treatment on this morning, and this is not a super creamy, like it stays, like you put it down and it stays. So I'm having a hard time. Could also be the Invisalign, not gonna lie, but it's pretty. I have a feeling that this shade though is going to give me the ring of death. I would put money on it. So I don't know if this is gonna be my favorite. It was incredibly discounted. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe they're getting rid of a few of the shades. I will probably stick with the Legendary lip formula. I will be honest. I thought that maybe this was gonna be just a little bit creamier, but I find that the Legendary lip, when you first put it on, it's super creamy, super comfortable. So this is maybe not one that I would necessarily recommend. It's cute. We'll have to see how it wears throughout the day. Go ahead and check the comments because I will make sure to leave an update down there on how this wore. I love so much of my RMS, but that one just isn't like a nailed it product for me. Right off the bat, honestly, I have so many lip products that I love, including their Legendary lipsticks, that if at this point in my life, if it's not like a wow, this is so good, I just can't really recommend it. Before we head out, I did want to talk to you a bit about a couple fragrances. I'm gonna talk about this one first because this is brand new and super hot. This is the new fragrance from Commodity. This is Juice. I did just pick it up in the travel size, and I was very tempted to get the scent sampler of all three of the scent spaces, the personal, the expressive, and the bold, but I just decided to go right down the middle with the expressive. I was looking at the notes in all of the scents, and I just felt like for a blind buy, this was gonna be the safest bet for me. I was so excited for this. Commodity has been like teasing this one for quite a while, and I was like, this is gonna be a fruity fragrance from Commodity. They're gonna do this right. They are not gonna let me down. They're gonna do a very sophisticated, fruity, yet not overly sticky sweet, complex, sexy adult fragrance. And I wasn't disappointed. Okay, so the first notes that you experience in this fragrance, according to the brand, are raspberry pulp, strawberry, and then you have Bulgarian rose, cyclamen. Then finally you get the amberwood and the rhubarb. So let me tell you, there is just something about this. It is fruity, tart, and a little spicy, and not spicy as in like cinnamon or clove. I was like, where's the spice coming from? And it's actually coming from the cyclamen. That is a floral that a lot of people pick up a spicy note from, and that's got to be where this is coming from. I was a little bit worried about the rose, but it is just in there as a nice balance. I think a lot of your raspberry or your strawberry fragrances have a bit of rose in there, and this is nice. You do need to be someone who doesn't absolutely hate rose to be able to like this, because it is there. You know, you will get that floral from this, but it's not so much there that it is rose heavy. I would say I mostly get, it's like jam. It's not quite fully raspberry, not quite fully strawberry. I think that they blend together really well. If you have smelled In Love with Everything from Imaginary Authors, I've talked about that one a lot, where it's like raspberry tropical punch. It does have a bit of rose to it. I'm pretty sure, yes, I'm pretty sure that one does as well. This is its sexy, grown-up, sophisticated sister. This is not as sweet, so if you found that to be too sickly sweet, it's not as sweet. It has a bit more spice to it. It's absolutely... Now, I do think that this has a pretty decent wear time for what it is. Now, as far as longevity on this, I did get probably a good 5, maybe even 6 hours out of this. I think by the end of it, what you're really getting is the amber wood and just a light, sweet and spicy vibe. Now, I will say for me, you know, I always talk about like how as a hairdresser, I try not to be like overly fragrant at work. I would probably wear this on a day where I'm going to be wearing it a couple hours before I go into work, so it's more in that mid-range, just because at the front, I know that they say that the first notes you get are the fruits, which is true because you're getting that sweetness, but those florals come out and sort of like give a good punch right away. After experiencing this one, I really would like to try the personal fragrance, which is really more of like that skin scent version. And what this has is the raspberry pulp, the strawberry, and then it adds violet leaf in those first notes. So I'm imagining that it's going to be a little bit fresher, a little bit more green to it. And then you do get the Bulgarian rose and the cyclamen and the amber wood and rhubarb at the end. So I really would like to try that one. I am not really interested in the bold, but I would be very curious to try it at some point. What that basically is compared to the original is in those base notes, like in the bottom notes, you're gonna get vetiver and patchouli, which are two notes that I'm not like overly keen on all the time. Now, the one thing that I think that that could be good for is if someone likes a headier, spicier leaning fragrance, but with a bit of tart fruit vibe to it, that could be really great. Like, I could see Jeremy probably getting into the bold version of this. So who knows, maybe I'll end up buying that sampler at some point. I will have links, by the way, to this if you did want to try this down below. I will put down a couple options for you. And by the way, on Commodity, when you sign up for their little rewards program, when you purchase a discovery kit, you do get that amount towards a full-size fragrance, which I think is absolutely awesome. So if you're like, these all sound great and I kind of want to try them all, it's a great way to do it. Otherwise, you know, the travel size, I'm glad that I got a travel size for now. As you know, I have so many fragrances, especially because I do want to try the personal at some point too, but I could absolutely see getting a full-size bottle of this at some point during a sale. Definitely full-size bottle worthy, absolutely. All right, so now for a purchase that was totally because of going through the new releases as I was doing maybe my last splurge stock or save. It might have been my last one, and that is fragrance from the floral tag. So this was a brand that I wasn't super familiar with. I saw this fragrance though, and I was like, this sounds amazing and I need to try it. So I ended up picking up the Eau de Parfum of the One Summer scent. I got it in a kit with the body oil spray. And then I also picked up one of the regular body sprays in the Peach Dream scent. Okay, I'm not quite sure where to begin with this, but I just want to give you like an honest experience on all of this. So lots of pros and cons to this. So let me talk a little bit about the One Summer scent because it is absolutely amazing. Now, when I purchased from the brand, they were doing a 50% off the site. I think that I shared that the brand owner had told me that they were sort of like clearing house to bring in some new products, some new packaging, which let me tell you is kind of needed. That's kind of needed. So, okay, the scent itself is this beautiful creamsicle scent. It frickin' smells like a creamsicle. It smells exactly like a creamsicle. So I can't actually look up the fragrance notes on this anymore though, because the brand has sort of like a couple times, honestly, since I purchased these, wiped their Instagram, closed down their website, put things back up. And so now this scent is not listed. I can't find it. I will say, even when everything was up on the site, it was a little bit hard to navigate, but it's creamy. It's got the vanilla, it's got the orange. I remember that there was listed as a cinnamon note, and I was a little worried about that because I'm like, I don't want cinnamon in my creamsicle. And the owner was correct in saying like it's just like in there somewhere to probably just give it some warmth. You don't really smell that. I am just going to tell you that I absolutely love the oil as far as a product, the scent of it, it's great. The dispersion system absolutely sucks. This is in a body sprayer spray. However, this sprayer is not meant for an oil. So it just kind of, like, it doesn't spray on like a luxurious body oil mist. It just sort of like out. So you can spray this into your hand and apply it to your body. That is the way that I would recommend doing this. There's a lot in here. This is gonna last me all summer, y'all. I do think that it's also essential for longevity to put this on before I put this on, because this eau de parfum did not have a lot of longevity. I'm gonna say maybe 3 hours on its own. I'm a little surprised at that longevity though, because there must be a pretty high oil content in this fragrance. The first time I put it on, I must have put it on before I'd gotten dressed and I didn't notice it. But the second time I put it on, I sprayed it because I think a lot of us like put our scent on our clothes, right? I was just talking about putting juice on your clothes. Especially I know I have some friends that have so much scent sensitivity on their skin that they usually just put it on their clothes. This had so much oil in it that it left oil marks on my tank top. Luckily, I think it came out. I actually just threw that tank top in the wash recently because I love that tank top and you can't get it anymore. And I was like, oh, I did not think at all that this was going to be an oily product. I did not notice it the first time I put it on, but it was right there. So that was really disappointing. And for it being so oily, or whatever's in here that did leave those like oil marks, if you will, it just didn't last that long. At full price, I don't think that I would pay for this. I mean, for the small bottle, it was a pretty high price tag. Unfortunately now, like I said, I can't see any of that on the website. Right now, the only thing they have up are a few of the body mists at like half off or something like that. And that's kind of disappointing. Like, I will say that that's a little bit disappointing. I'm not quite sure what is up there. I get like doing a, pausing your website, you're not taking any sales, you're not doing whatever because you're doing like a new launch or a rebrand. Like I said, it's just been kind of weird. Like, most brands wouldn't necessarily like wipe their whole Instagram. I'm not sure, but I do love the oil. I do love the oil. So now let's talk about the Peach Dream Body Spray. I will say this was like a total impulse buy. I'm also going to say I was a little bit disappointed because for some reason this little baby bottle was not in the half off sale. So I could have gotten a full size for the same price as what I got this. So that kind of sucked, but that was on me. So this scent, and again, I don't think that this one is up right now. Maybe it is. Let me just check and see. Oh, this one is. So it's listed as a sweet, smoky floral. Imagine a sweet, fresh peach mist with notes of lime, mango, papaya, tuberose, and a splash of coconut water. So this is alcohol free. And I do think that for someone who maybe has those sensitivities, this might be a good formula. I totally just shook this up. So let me tell you, this is a biphase. If it's meant to be that way or not, I don't know, but it is a biphase. So you are going to want to shake this up because there is almost like a liquidy, lotiony, oily bit up here. And then the rest, you can probably see that settling already. So you're gonna wanna shake this up, like, especially if you are spraying a lot of it, you're gonna wanna maybe shake it up mid-spray as well, like spray a couple sprays, give it a shake, spray it, because it separates pretty quickly. So this scent, it's nice. It's nice. It really has a very, I will say, it doesn't smell like peach ring gummies. It smells more like you slice into a peach, you get the peach skin and the peach pit. You know that smell, right? That smell of the peach pit. I don't necessarily get a lot of the other scents out of this. I don't really get lime. I maybe get a bit of that papaya, just honestly because of that starchy thing that papaya has a little bit. Does anybody know if you've had fresh papaya? It has that like slightly starchy, I don't want to say woody, starchy thing to it. So maybe I get that. Here's the thing about this though. This again is more lotiony. So don't spray it on your clothes, just spray it on your body. And it does have a feel to it. To me, this is like a hybrid body lotion body spray. Some people will absolutely love that. They will absolutely love that. I could see this being much more hydrating than your average body spray. However, if you are someone who just wants literally something that you're going to be able to spray on and not worry about it leaving oil stains on your clothes, you don't want to feel, maybe you're textural and you're like, oh, I don't like that. this might not be for you. So that's a pro and a con there as far as that. Again, the pumps on these, I don't know. I mean, at full price, these are listed as $34. And by the way, not for this size. This full size here would be $34 for the body mist. Right now, they're on sale for $17. $17 for a body mist, in my opinion, is still like in that range where I'm gonna want good performance, I'm gonna want decent packaging. Like, you're not getting this for like 10 bucks. You know, if you're thinking of like Bath and Body Works, which of course have a lot of alcohol in them, I'm sure, maybe you have some sensitivities, it might be a good way to go to try this body spray. But I would want, I don't know, there's just something about the texture of the spray that I personally didn't love. And when I'm thinking of a body spray, I do just wanna be able to like spray it on carefree. You know, just put it on, not worry about it. So that being said, I did really like the body oil. I like the scent of this one, especially, was great. I just am not sure, especially with all of this like takedown put up on the socials. I'm just a little bit confused on that. I wish I could tell you the notes that were in this one. So I am very much going to enjoy this body oil and layering it with this scent for the summer before I get dressed. Not putting it on my clothes before I get dressed. So this is going to be great to enjoy throughout the summer. I'll have to take a peek as the brand sort of, you know, relaunches, comes up with new things. I hope that really they're going to improve the packaging, and I'll just have to see about the pricing, because for the pricing at regular price, for the longevity of this, I just see it as a bit of a miss. But missed, that's a pun right there, miss. But I do really enjoy the scent. So there's my rambly review of that. Let me know if you've tried this brand, and let me know your thoughts, because I would be very curious. All right, lovelies. I know this was kind of an all over the place one, which, welcome to my channel. This is usually the way it is. I've got a lot of content coming down the road. I'm actually taking some time off right around the 4th of July. So I'm really looking forward to getting some time to film some more content for you. You all know we've had a lot going on and it's been hard for me. So thanks for those of you that have been here for the long haul and you've been sticking around. I really appreciate you. And if you're new, welcome. And I hope you will join for more rambly but honest thoughts. Thanks, lovelies. I'll see you really soon.